Alright, so this may be one of my most insane hauls yet. Probably the most insane haul I've ever had on this channel. So let's get to it. Hello, this is Daniel Mart back again. I'm an actor and filmmaker based out of South Florida, and for this video, I'm basically going to be doing my post-birthday haul. My birthday was last month, or at least at the time I'm filming this video last month, on March 8th. It is currently April 23rd, I think? 22nd, 23rd. Let's just say I bought a lot of movies, and yeah, let's just go with that. I bought a lot of movies. I originally was going to do this video like I usually do all my other haul videos, where I shoot this in parts, like, hey, part 1 was like this long, and here's all the stuff I bought for like the past 2 weeks or past 2-3 weeks or whatever. Here's what I bought these next 3 weeks, stuff like that. That's how I usually film these videos for the haul videos. But it's one of those things that I did that this time around. I had 6 parts, and at the end it was almost 4 hours long. Of course, I'm not gonna post a 4-hour long video, even if I edit it down to like maybe 2.5 hours. I'm not gonna do that. Like, just realistically, I am not gonna do that. So basically, I'm gonna do one insane haul, one giant haul. It's gonna be a giant haul regardless. I'm gonna do one giant haul and just kind of go from there. So I'm going to start off with the DVDs, then the Blu-rays, and then I have a special surprise, which I know my friend Emil, he's watching this. You're not going to like this, but you already know it at the same time, so who cares? I am going to introduce Emil into the channel. That is one of the downsides of having to refilm this all over again to fit this into about an hour-long video, hour to hour and a half long video. The fact that that Miami cameo is no longer here. Who knows? Maybe I actually did this as an Easter egg at the beginning of the video. Who knows? But yeah, let's start off with the DVDs. Also, for each movie I have here, I'm gonna more or less try to remember where I got this from. Like, it's always some kind of combination of Goodwill, Barnes and Nobles, whatever. But you know, some of these may have a story, some of them not. So let's kind of go with this. The first one is actually something I don't even know what it's called, and that's because it's these 2 Egyptian movies. They're from the same series, and I got this at Goodwill. So I went to go with my friend Emil. I went to go basically Goodwill hopping on a weekend with him. We went to 3 Goodwills right by his house, and he lives up in Lauderhill. And yeah, those are Goodwills I've just never scavenged from, because usually I'm based out of here in Miami. So I went there, and yeah, these are some of the movies I were in one of the Goodwills. And yeah, I tried looking these up. I've had the Google Translate thing, like translate the Egyptian on this, the Arabic on this, and I just can't find the title for this. Like, yes, it does translate it. It translates it to like something like the name of the character and like Missionary of Pride or something like that. But it's like not on IMDb. I've tried to search up the company that produced this, and there's like nothing on these films. So I don't know what to make out of them, but there you go. Next up, I have 2 Spanish movies. These are Discoteca Fin de Semana and La Pachanga. Got that at Goodwill. Three Homes de Chufin. So this is 3 Men in a Coffin. I believe that's what it is. So I went to American Thrift, and you're gonna see some of these DVDs like that, where it's the English, like the movie's in English. This is an American or maybe British made movie. I think this is actually a British movie, all things considered. But they're in the French version, like the packaging is all in French. And basically, what I'm gonna say to that is that sometimes you can tell when a particular person gave their collection to like a particular thrift shop. Essentially is what it comes down to. And this is one of those cases where you could tell who that a French person specifically gave basically their entire French movie collection to American Thrift, because I bought a bunch of other French movies across the board here. Next up, I have 4 movies for what is this, movie marathon conspiracy collection. So this is State of Play, Spy Games, Breach, and Closed Circuit. This is a collection of Nicolas Cage movies. This has Joe, Drive Angry, Knowing, Lords of War, Bangkok Dangerous, Dead and Fall. But the thing with this is that it also has Face Off and Snake Eyes right there. So again, this was actually a good one. This happened in a few other stuff here, where for whatever reason, some guy just decided to like do a bunch of like random combo packs, and the Nicolas Cage one was like one of the more reasonable ones. But there were some other weird combo packs, like why are you combining these 2 movies? Like, they make no sense. It was very weird, and he put them on in Blu-ray cases. I actually fell for that at one point, and I got 2 different movies, which I now didn't realize they're not going to be in this because they were literally just a loose disc at the end of the day. But it was him. It was like this TV miniseries for like with 2 or 3 episodes called him, and then Crossing Point, like this random B-level action movie called Crossing Points that were both in a Blu-ray case. Like, it was just very weird the way it was shown off. So yeah, here you go, all these Nicolas Cage movies. Next up, we have 3 movies here: 12 Monkeys, Mercury Rising, and Jackal. 12 Western movies, which are The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Against a Crooked Sky, Country Remedy, Cowboys and Angels, The Groom Wore Spurs, The Gun in the Pulpit, Morning Glory, Proud Rebel, Run to the High Country, Tommy and the Cool Mule, Under California Stars, and The Wackiest Wagon Train in the West. 20 horror movies. We have Pandemics Part 1 and 2, Silent Predators, Bone Daddy, Horror of the Zombies, Daisies of the Zombies, Revolt of the Zombies, The Bunga, Teenage Zombies, Blood Tide, Creatures from the Haunted Sea, Dementia 13, Galaxy Invaders, Cosmos, The War of the Planets, Little Shop of Horrors 1960 version, Snow Beast, Tormented, House of Haunted Hill, Night of the Living Dead, the OG, and Devil Bat. So this is a collection of just 50 episodes from a bunch of random Western shows. The main one here is The Lone Ranger, but it also has episodes from the Cisco Kid, the Gabby Hayes shows, Adventures of Kit Carson, Roy Rogers shows, Annie Oakley, Judge Roy Bean, and Cowboy G-Man. And it's 50 episodes in total. A Perfect Murder, and this is a perfect time to mention this. So something I realized, especially throughout these past few months, is that I really love these cardboard cases. Like, I absolutely love these cardboard cases. And yeah, so some of the movies I did get, I almost got them specifically just because they had the cardboard cases. And that's actually going to come into play way later, maybe towards the end of the video, and you'll see why. American Beautiful, American Ninjas 2 and 3, Arnold 3-pack collection with twins, Kindergarten Cop, and Junior. These are 2 Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire collection packs. We have Roberta, Follow the Feet, Flying Down to Rio, and Story of Vernon and Irene Castle. And here we have The Gay Divorcee, Shall We Dance, Swing Time, and Top Hat. Funny enough, oh wow, it fell. Alright, back to our regular scheduled program. Funny enough, I definitely already posted this video by now, but in my video where it's like top 20 movies that should be in the Criterion Collection romance movies, my Valentine's Day special, or what was supposed to be my Valentine's Day special, I actually said that they should have this in the collection. They should have a Ginger Rogers Fred Astaire collection in the collection, basically. This is Bad Boys with Sean Penn, and this, I actually bought this. I bought this, another movie you're about to see, because it was at a garage sale, and it was like 3 movies for $1, and I was only really trying to get the Blu-ray, but turns out I already had the Blu-ray in my collection, so I kind of bought duplicates, and then ended up buying Bad Boys and Couples Retreat. That's the other movie I bought for no reason, so there you go. And the Blu-ray I was trying to get was Social Network, but I already have Social Network. Here we have Barabbas, Because of Winn-Dixie. I feel like everybody read this book, like, in middle school, except for me. Becoming Jane. Ben-Hur. This is actually the animated version of Ben-Hur. And funny enough, Charlton Heston actually does the voice of Ben-Hur, Judo Ben-Hur, in this film, just like he portrayed him in the live-action movie. Here we have Bienvenue chez les Chits. Again, French movie. Like I said, you could kind of tell when a particular person gives away their own personal collection. Bag, Milka Bag, Indian movie. There we go. Black Mask, another 4-pack. This is just Busby Berkeley movies. So we have 42nd Street Gold Diggers of 1937, Footlight Parade, and Dames. Toon Factory stuff that has Casper, as Porky the Pig, a bunch of stuff that has 17 episodes here of random cartoons from back in the day. Cats and Dogs 1 and 2. Couples Retreat, so that's the one I got with Bad Boys. That one I was trying to get with Social Network. Cradle to the Grave. So yeah, this is one movie, like, I'm very interested to know if people have ever heard of this. This is Jet Li and DMX. I saw this, like, the only time I ever saw this was in Peru. so it may have been the Spanish translation as well, or Spanish dub. But yeah, I just remember watching this movie back in the day. It's one of those movies that I'm like, I wonder what ever happened to that movie. And it's weird because it says Cradle to the Grave, but it's not a sequel. It has 2 as the actual number 2. So yeah, has anybody ever actually heard this movie? Have you seen it? What are your thoughts on it? You know, I saw that, I'm like, yes, I'm picking that up immediately. Dark City. So yeah, this is kind of a funny thing because, and I think I'm going to show it in this video too later down the line, but I actually bought the Blu-ray of Dark City. So I already had the I already had the Blu-ray of Dark City, but I got the Arrow version of Dark City because, you know, to upgrade it, because it was on sale. It was during the Arrow sale, and I found this, and this is where I'm kind of mentioning, like, hey, again, I really love these cardboard cases, and I almost debated not buying this, but I'm like, you know what, I really love these cardboard cases. This looks pretty cool, so I'll just have it just for the collection regardless. Even though I already have the Blu-ray, I'll still buy the DVD because it's a cardboard case, which is so cool. This is DOA, both the remake and the original from 1950 and 1988. Here we have Duel, and it's funny, I actually bought this at a thrift store. This was my friend Emil, and then later down the line, I actually bought the 4K of Duel, and we'll get to 4Ks once we get to the 4Ks, by the way. But yeah, I bought the 4K Blu-ray of Duel, and I'm kind of debating if I should keep this or not. The thing that's kind of motivating me to still keep it is the fact that this is actually the French version of it. I'm not sure if you can see it right there in the back, but you know, it's one of those, like, usually when you have a French title like Bienvenue chez the Sheets, whatever it's called, whatever, you know, like, that clearly has a French title, whereas Duel, I guess in French it's still Duel. Next up we have Empty, You Too Less. So I think this is in the French movie. We have Fallen, Famosos Dibujos. So this is something, I think the Casper one also falls under this. Basically, I took these from my dad's collection in a sense. So of course, with every collector, they always have to start somewhere. And my collection, realistically, would have started when I was a young kid. You know, the random animated stuff that I had from when I was a child. And over time, I've of course taken a bunch of that. But I just want to go through it one last time, and you'll see why specifically later down the line. for this video, but I want to go through it just one last time, and this is one of those stuff that I picked up. So I basically picked up most of the animated stuff from like my early childhood, like these random collection of stuff, and these are all in Spanish, by the way, which is I find very interesting. Here we have The Good Teacher, Fatal Lessons Good Teacher. That's like a very like random horror Hallmark movie, or I think it's Hallmark. It's some like random TV channel that like they're not known for horror, so it's very interesting. Feudalese Duchester, Fifi, Captain Longlegs, Capitan Brinadicid, Final Analysis, Fracture. Again, does anybody remember this movie? Like, this is such a nice little thriller. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. Gaturo. I love my random cat movies. That's why I picked it up. Go. We have Jesus Christ. Literally Jesus Christ. Greatest Heroes, Legends, The Last Supper, Crucifixion, and Resurrection. I bought this right before Easter. Speaking of cats, Grumpy Cat the movie. Grumpy Old Man. Not gonna lie, I thought this movie was really hard to find. And then it turns out, no, it's actually not. It's actually very easy to find. I thought this movie was like out of print or something, like on DVD or Blu-ray. But it turns out it wasn't. Habla con ella, Talk to Her, The Hangman. These are two movies. These are Hard Ground and The Trial of Hope Rose. So funny story with this, I actually got a box of 25 random movies from Temu, of all places. Yeah, Temu apparently sells movies. Temu, if you guys know what Temu is, they kind of gamify it, so like you could try to buy as much stuff for like the cheapest thing possible. And I usually go through the games, but like I never pay at the end because I just think it's stupid to pay at the end. But this is one of those things where they had like this thing where it's like buy 25 movies, random DVD movies, for like $4 essentially, is what it came down to. And I did it. I'm like, you know what, let me see. And they had like 3 or 4 different collections where it's like family stuff, and then you could do action, horror, like all the genre stuff. And then the last category was like you could do all of it combined, essentially is what it came down to. And I did all of them combined. I was trying to see if I could do all 3 of them low-key for like basically $12 total, but no, they wouldn't allow it. You can only choose one, so that's why I chose the grab bag of everything. And this is one of those that came in there. Here we have 2 Indian movies. It's Hum Sabah Hum, and then the other one is Hum Apake Hainkor. I'm not even sure I pronounced that correctly, but there you go. Ice Age, Dawn of the Dinosaurs. That's another one that came from Temu. Ignition. This is Inter du Defant Gate, Jack Frost. The Jerry Lewis 10-film comedy collection. So funny enough, I already have this this set, but the set I have is like the one from Barnes & Noble's where it's like Jerry Lewis and like this very professional like suit and tie type of thing. And it's a good set. Don't get me wrong, I mean, this has the same exact movies. What I'm going to do is basically give away the set I already have and just replace it with this one, because this one just has so much more character than a random like picture of him like with like it's almost a headshot with him in a suit and whatever. Like, I just prefer this. It has way more character than what Barnes & Noble is shipping out, so to speak. Here we have John Wayne movies, 4 John Wayne movies, which are The Cowboys, Fort Apache, Real Bravo, and The Cowboys, and The Searchers. And funny enough, I already have this collection, like this same exact collection. The thing is that I think they titled it under 2 different things, because this is under the Turner Classics Movies Greatest Film Collection, but then there's another version where it's not Turner Movie Classics, at least it doesn't seem to be Turner Movie Classics, and that's the one I have. Judgment Day, Key Largo, La Bonne Année, La Cité des Enfants Perdus, so this is the City of Lost Children. Le Grand Vadrouille, La Niña de los Ojos, The Girl with the Eyes, Munabahi, and Munabahi MBBS. So from what I understand, Munabahi MBBS, that's the first movie, and then Munabahi, or La Guerrajo Munabahi, that's the second movie. This is a leading ladies collection, so this has 6 movies. Yeah, 6 movies with like leading ladies. So we have Jane Eyre with Suzanne York. We have The Strange Love of Martha Ivers with Barbara Stanwyck. Patterns with, it doesn't say here, The Magic Sword doesn't say here. And Karenina with Vivian Lee, and William Shakespeare's As You Like It. Does it say the actress? No, it does not, but there you go. I will say, I do find it interesting that Jane Eyre, Vivian Lee, that's the main movie that they're promoting here when they have 6 movies in total. Lean On Me, isn't that a song by, it's like Bill Withers or something like that? Lean On Me. We have here Legends of Folk. This is The Village Scene. So this is like a documentary concert type of thing. I got this at one of the Goodwills that I went with Yamil. La Barbouze, again, another one from American Thrift. Anything that's French, by the way, is just American Thrift, just so you know. And this is The Dirty Dozen in French. Les Tons Filingers, Le Visiteur 1 and 2. Or here we go. There you go. The Visitor 1 and 2. The Looney Tunes 100 Anniversary Collection, the Platinum Collection. So this has all 3 Platinums contained into one. And of course I got this at Walmart. I got a few stuff from Walmart. Most of the stuff I got from Walmart was Blu-rays. So that's why we haven't seen it up until now. But this is a collection I've been wanting to get for some time, so I finally got it. Although it is from my understanding that this only contains the shorts and not the special features. If you want the special features, you actually need to buy the individual releases, which I do find kind of weird in my opinion. But I think it's also one of those things that the first 2 Platinums are like very hard to find. And I think the third one is like still mass produced. So I feel like, given the fact that 2 out of 3 are like super hard to find as is, if anything, that should have motivated them more to put the special features. Speaking of Looney Tunes, we have Back in Action. We have, what is this? Mais os de todos pasé de 7 a.m. campaign. I definitely butchered that right now. Madeline, 2 films collection of Madeline. We have Madeline Winter Vacation and Madeline in London. I got this at a garage sale. Melody and Sue's Soul. Mr. Roberts. Mother, May I Sleep with Danger. This is both the original and the remake from 96 and 2016. So 20 years apart. My Blue Heaven. You're in the News Fashu Pass. The Nick of Time. Night Shift. This is No More Bats. This is another one that I got from Temu. Pathshala. All the Indian stuff I got from Goodwill, but just so you know. Pokemon Legion. Which league are you? Johto League. So again, this is one of those things I got basically from my dad. All the animation stuff here. This is one of those things I got from my dad. And the reason it looks like this is because this is from, one, this is from Peru, and 2, this is basically a bootleg thing of Johto. I don't even think it has a full season. I'm pretty sure it just has a few handful of episodes, and there you go. It's so weird that like they're promoting this as Johto, and then yet they have stuff that's clearly not Johto League. Like you have Mewtwo the movie right here, you have Pokemon Stadium right there, you have just 2 random pictures of Pokemons right there. It's just kind of weird the way they're promoting this, but then again, it's a bootleg thing. Why not? Still, screw it, whatever. We have the Poltergeist. They're here. Radio, another one I got from Temu. Ravenous. Revir Sans Retour. I'm pretty sure this is like the River of No Return or something like that. And this has Marilyn Monroe and Robert Mitchum, again, American Thrift, because it is a French version of the film. Road Trip, another one I got from Temu. Running on Empty. Low Key Me right now with The Sickness. Saint, The Saint. Saving Silverman. I think this is another one I got from that Temu stuff. Okay, here's the Scooby-Doo part. So, okay, recently I went to a thrift store, a bookstore, movie store in Fort Lauderdale, and they just have a massive collection of stuff. It's one of those things where it's like crates up top of crates on top of crates of movies, Blu-rays, DVDs, VHSs, everything. It's like I was maybe there for like half an hour, and honestly I could have stayed there for like the whole day and probably still be discovering the stuff after stuff. But a bulk of the stuff that they had was Scooby-Doo stuff, and I basically picked up a bunch of the Scooby-Doo stuff. So here we have Scooby-Doo 3 movie collection. This has Abracadabra Doo, The Goblin King, and the Alien Invaders. Honestly, I just picked this up for Abracadabra Doo because I already have Alien Invaders, and funny enough, I already picked up Goblin King in this very haul as well. Funny enough. Speaking of which, there you go, Goblin King. Then we have The Loch Ness Monster. Okay, this one is something from my dad's collection. This is like the only thing from Scooby-Doo that's from my dad's collection, and I have to explain it a little bit, and that is The Legend of the Vampire. So why do I need to explain it? Because for whatever reason, it does not have the disc. So it's literally I literally just have this for the case. Take that for what you will. I have no idea where my disc of Legend of the Vampire went. Bright side is I do have Legend of the Vampire already on Blu-ray. Next up here with the Scooby-Doo stuff, we have Chill Out Scooby-Doo. I'm just gonna put this under the Scooby section and just say it's Scooby-Doo Chill Out. Screw it, whatever. Scooby-Doo and Where's My Money? Mummy. Where's My Mummy? Scooby-Doo and Phantosaurus. We have Scooby-Doo meets the Harlem Globetrotters, Scooby-Doo Pirates Ahoy, and Scooby-Doo Spooky Tales. And this is basically a few episodes from the original run of movies from the original Scooby-Doo run. I did consider not picking this up, but it just seemed like such a unique thing, honestly. The one kind of downside is the fact that it is like super, not damaged, I guess, but it's like you can see the tape there, and that's, I did try to remove the tape. Oh, now it wants to remove. Of course, now on camera it wants to remove. But it's like, it just looks very dirty. But I guess at the same time, what do you expect? Next up, I have this Shirley Temple collection. I've never seen a Shirley Temple movie in general. Like, I've seen a few Shirley Temple clips, but I've never seen any of her movies in general. And this is actually volume 3. There's, apparently from my scene, there's like 5 or 6 volumes of this. So, I don't know, maybe I'll decide to, like, get the other ones. Who knows? Here we have Sicko. This is another one that I got from Temu. This is a documentary by Michael Moore. Soldier. Sonic Christmas Blast. This is another thing I got from my dad. Sport Night, the complete series. I got this at a garage sale. 4 Martin Short movies. We have Bowfinger, Parenthood, House Sitter, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, and The Lonely Guy. So, sorry, 5. Stitch the movie. Superman Returns. Again, this is another one I got from Temu. This is one I'm debating keeping or not. And the reason I'm debating keeping it or not is because this is the French version of it. It's a Canadian version. Like if it's just fully French, I'm more inclined to get it. But like the Canadian stuff, like you already have the English title. Like I don't know, like there's something about it. Like it's not intriguing to me. I guess is the best way to word it. So I don't know. Maybe I give this away soon. Survival Island, Swiss Family Robinson. So this is actually very interesting because this DVD is like super, not that it's common per se, but like you can find it for cheap. But I searched it up just out of curiosity, like how much does a Blu-ray go? Like the Blu-ray is super expensive. It goes for like $60. I'm like, what? Wow. And I'm sure part of it has to do with it being, probably the main reason really is the fact that it's out of print. But past that, I don't really understand why the Blu-ray for is so expensive outside of that one reason. So, good that I have the DVD. Oh, and also I got this from another like bookstore thrift shop that I went to recently, and the guy there was pretty cool. And it's one of those things that all movies were free. Like, thing is, he only had like a very small selection of movies, and it was all DVDs. So it's like I really wasn't that inclined to pick it up. But this is something that caught my attention, especially after I found out that the Blu-ray goes for like dumb amount of money. So if I ever want to watch a movie really improper, just get the DVD. We have Tamasha, That Darn Cat. Again, I love my cat movies. Speaking of which, the Aristocats. Here we have the big one, the big red one. And yeah, this is kind of an interesting movie. This is like one of those movies that was first filmed like in the 70s or 80s, but didn't really have a proper release until like the mid 2000s, especially because this is the reconstruction version. Because from what I understand, this movie originally back in the 70s, 80s when this first came out, it basically had a bunch of studio interference. Producers wanted their own stuff versus what the director wanted, versus Samuel Fuller, which is what he wanted. And because of that, they just completely botched the movie in its original version. But then several years later, Samuel Fuller, or somebody associated with Samuel Fuller, was able to come in and basically re-edit the movie and add the scenes or take out scenes, whatever Fuller would have wanted originally, and that's this version of the movie. And yeah, so basically like the original Justice League, I guess that's the best way I could think of it. Or I guess, I don't know, because you also have something like Blade Runner, which is even before that, so who knows. The Bible, this is the TV series, miniseries from almost 10, 11, 12 years ago, now I think about it. The Cats from Outer Space, again, love my cats. Crow City of Angels, and this is very similar to Swiss Family Robinson in the sense that I did search up how much it is on Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is stupid expensive, so in this case, yes, just buy the DVD. This is another one I got from Temu. This is a collection of 2 movies, The Curse of King Tut's Tomb and Merlin's Apprentice. The Gospel of John. So I got this. So I went to Salvation Army for the first time. This is the first time I've gone to Salvation Army, and I bought a bunch of stuff. Like, this is one of the few stuff I got from Salvation Army. I'm trying to remember what else I got from Salvation. I think Survival Island. I think that was also Salvation Army. I think. And I think Ignition was also Salvation Army. The Hours, this was Temu. The Last Mincy, this is from Goodwill. The Last Stand, X-Men The Last Stand, this is Temu because also the French Styles. Again, another one like Superman where like, do I keep it, do I not keep it? I'm not sure yet. The Little's Christmas Special, this is from my dad's collection. Oh, this is something I got from Salvation Army. The Lord of the Rings, but this is the the Chinese version of this. Like, this is super cool. So unlike the French stuff, like here, yes, it shows both the English and the Chinese version. Unlike the French version of stuff like this, like that, it's one of those things where it's like I feel like I see French way too often, but Lord of the Rings and like in Chinese letters, like that's unique, so I'll keep it. It also just a case in general just seems kind of cool. The Mothman Prophecies, a very great thriller movie if you haven't seen it already, by the way. The Net, The Perfect Storm. Not gonna lie, I did not realize that this had George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg in it. Pink Panther Swings Again, and this is supposedly it's volume 4, but inside you have volumes 3 and 5, so take that for what you will. I guess 2 for the price of 1, but the one I wanted, in theory, isn't even there. Shawshank Redemption. The Testament, the Testament of One Fold and One Shepherd. So this is something I got from Salvation Army, and I was very curious about this, and because I do like picking up just Jesus media in general, but it wasn't until I got back that I realized something, and it really made me very much disappointed in myself, and it's the fact that this comes from the Church of Latter-day Saints. So this is Mormon propaganda. And as we know, Mormons are not real Christians. These Girls, this is another thing from Temu. A very random movie. Never even heard of it. 3 Little Pigs, Owen Sage and Javier, and What a Mess Christmas Special. And I think that's it for the DVDs, except for 2 things, which I'm about to show. So the last 2 things from DVDs I'm going to show off before I go on to the Blu-rays. First off, at the thrift store I mentioned earlier, it's called Big Apple Bookstore. It's up in Fort Lauderdale. Again, they just have mountains upon mountains, crates upon crates, shelves upon shelves of movies. And the thing here is that every single movie here, doesn't matter how big or how small the packaging is, everything here across the board was $2.50. So I went a little bit ham, I'm not even gonna lie. And I was gonna, like, I saw this, I'm like, you're telling me this is $2.50? He's like, yup. So I bought it. The whole Murder, She Wrote complete series, all 12 seasons. Of course I'm gonna buy this. Like, are you crazy? The funny thing is, and I saw this, like, they had the individual seasons of Murder, She Wrote 2 as well. Like, I think they had like 5 or 6 seasons of just the individual stuff. And so that's where all the Scooby-Doo stuff came from. And speaking of which, Scooby-Doo. I have Scooby-Doo Ahoy. Or Aloha Scooby-Doo, my bad. So this is the one that takes place in Hawaii. And this is such a weird packaging for it. Like the movie is this. Like this is just a movie, and this is like the slipcover. The slip like that. I wish I was joking. That is a slipcover. It's like, oh, why don't I just put it here in the front or here in the top? First off, like the flap doesn't even close properly. But the reason I can't put it is because there's actually something stopping this from entering. I'm not sure if you can see it right there. You have like this little bar. From what I understand, this is protected by an anti-theft device. So I guess my logic behind this is the fact that they shoved some kind of sensor here, and that's how they prevented it from being stolen. But the funny thing is that the Loch Ness Monster version. Sorry, let me pull it out very fast. It's funny because here the Loch Ness Monster, it comes from like the same series as this one. And you can see kids movies, whatever, kids movies collection. They come from the same version, and this one didn't have the slipcover. Now, granted, the reason this one doesn't have the slipcover and this one does is probably because maybe it came from different people, or this one just didn't have. They didn't save the slipcover for this one. I don't know, but it's just I find it very weird and very unique. And on top of that, I'm searching this up like does like any movie with this, like this movie, is there any version of this movie that has a slipcover? And I have not been able to find a single version seller like on eBay or Amazon that is selling this movie with this insane slipcover. And it's like, what do I do with this? Like, low-key, what do I do? Because like if I put it in with the rest of my DVDs, it's not gonna fit because duh, you know. So like for a second I'm like, do I just cut this portion of it like that? But it's like then I just have this loose piece which I can always just keep. But it's like, I mean, it does fit, I'll say that much, but like I feel like if I ever want to give this away, I'm not going to want to give this away, but like, per chance, like, I'd want the slipcover to be whole. You know what I mean? So like, what do I do? What do I do? Basically. So there you go. That's it for the DVDs. Now onto the Blu-rays. All right, first off, we have this collection of four action movies, icons of action. So this is Jason Statham, Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Dolph Lundgren, and this is Blitz, Direct Contact, Eyes See You, and In Hell. We have The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy, both of them all in one collection, all in Blu-ray now. So I upgraded all of that. Speaking of upgrades, we have the 9-film collection of Superman and Batman. So this has Superman, the original Superman movies from Superman the movie to Superman Returns, and Batman to Batman and Robin. 47 Ronin, 300, and 300 Rise of Empire. So yeah, these two I got at that Big Apple thrift store, bookstore. And they had just so many copies of both these movies. It was kind of insane. Like there's some movies where they just had like 20 copies of for whatever reason. And both of the 300 movies were like some of those movies where they just had 300 copies plus of it. And I'm basically upgrading the Blu-rays I already have to these because, not gonna lie, the 2 Blu-rays I have of these are bootleg versions of it. So I want the real versions of it, if that makes sense. And if I could get them for $250, sure, you know, admission. Okay, so of course Criterion had their flash sale, their 50% flash sale online, and usually when I do that, I usually just pick out individual movies, but I kind of realized, wait, it's a flash sale, and because of that, that means I can also get box sets for half off, and usually box sets contain like 6, 7, 8 movies, so why don't I just do that, get 8 movies for like the price of 3, if that makes sense. So I bought the American Lost and Found, the best BBS stories, and this includes Head, Easy Rider, 5 Easy Pieces, Drive, He Said, A Safe Place, The Last Picture Show, and The King of Marvin Gardens. So something I'm also going to try to do, and I'll explain this in a future video, and maybe towards the end of this video, is that I am trying to upgrade a lot of my DVDs onto Blu-rays. Like, that is something I am trying to do in general, but I'm trying to, especially now, I kind of came to this realization that I have way too many DVDs, and a lot of these DVDs could honestly just be Blu-rays. So because of that, I am more actively trying to upgrade my movies. Now, again, this is something that's going to be discussed in another video in the future, shortly after this video is posted. But this is going to explain this next movie. That is After Earth. Yeah, I bought After Earth on Blu-ray because I have the DVD. Not anymore because now I have the Blu-ray. Another sale that was going on was the Grove sale, with the Warner Brothers archive stuff. So I did pick up some stuff from there. Here we have Angels with Dirty Faces and the Batman and TMNT movie. This is actually the 4K. So usually I don't buy 4Ks. The only reason I bought this 4K, as well as a few other 4Ks, is because part of it had to do with this Grove sale that was going on. And part of it had to do with the fact that, hey, it's coming out with the Blu-ray as well. And that's the thing. Like, I've actually been cheated by these, like, 4K Ultra HD. Like, 4Ks, I know that's a 4K, but I did not realize Ultra HD is the same thing as 4K, so that's what's pissing me off recently. Especially last year, that happened to me twice, where I bought 2 things thinking they were the Blu-rays, and no, it's just a 4, because I thought it was 4K and Blu-ray, because they say Blu-ray Ultra HD, not realizing that Blu-ray Ultra HD just means 4K, which I think is super dumb. So I bought 2 things last year that, because of that, I can't watch them because I don't have a 4K player. So there you go. So now I'm really making sure, really paying attention if they have Blu-ray especially the little sign right there. I'm not sure if you can see it. Blu-ray. That's saying, okay, now I know how to buy this. If it's a 4K, if it's being promoted as a 4K, does it also have Blu-ray? I'm gonna check for that sign specifically. Battery's not included, and something I really love about these types of slipcovers, like they come from Walmart, and I just love these slipcovers. They're so simple, where you just have the subject, whether it be an item or a person or a catcher or whatever have you, and this like this background, this like solid background. I really love this style of slipcovers. Honestly, it's really cool. I think Conan had the same thing. Now I think about it, but now I just remembered to. No, Conan's coming up. My bad. Conan's coming up. So yeah, I'm all over the place with this. Here we have Before You Sleep, Blade, the Blade trilogy. My bad, the Blade trilogy. Blue Velvet. When did I get that? Actually, now I think about it. When did I get that? Because I don't think I got it during the sale. I think just Barnes & Noble just randomly had this on discount. I think that's what it was. Caged, again from the Grub sale. Captain Blood, Carrie. This is the remake of Carrie. Cheap Thrills. Yes, that's what it was. We had or was it the? I'm trying to remember because we had a sale in February and March, and I remember we had the Arrow sale. Was it also like the Arrow sale was like back to back with the Criterion sale, and then shortly thereafter was the Criterion Flash sale? I think that seems kind of weird now thinking about it. I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, besides one, we have Cheap Thrills. I caught this at the tail end of the Arrow video sale, by the way. Oh, it's because Radiance also had a sale. That's the other sale that was going on around the same. Radiance. Choice of Arms. So I did pick up a few Radiance titles. Choice of Arms being one of them. Cloudy with a Chance Meatball. Conan, the 2-movie collection. So this has Conan, the Destroyer, and the Barbarian. Cowboy vs. Aliens. D13U. So here, one of the times I went to Goodwill. Here's a quick story. One of the times I went to Goodwill, they just had a humongous stack of Blu-rays, and this is one of the movies they bought. And there's a story with one of the other movies I got from this sale that I'm going to mention later down the line, but just keep that in mind. Daphne and Velma. So yes, I got this at the Big Apple thrift store, and again, I love Scooby-Doo, and originally I was not going to pick this up, but I'm surprised they even have a Blu-ray for this movie in general. Just because of that oddity alone, I picked it up, and again, it's $2.50. And here we have Death Trap, again from the Grub sale. Dodgeball, Duck Dodgers, the whole series. I remember watching this when I was a kid a lot, so I'm very happy I finally got this. This is one of those things I've often considered getting. Maybe should I not get it? Yeah, maybe I should get it. But I'm like, you know what? Let me splurge a little bit for my birthday. There you go. Duel. So this is the one I picked up from Grub, and again, I picked up the DVD version of it, through thrifting, and then shortly thereafter I saw this. I'm like, you know what? Let me buy this. Earth. This is the biography of Earth. So again, when I was going around with Emil, a lot of the stuff I found outside of this Egyptian or just Indian cinema, a lot of stuff that I also did find was these documentary Earth or science documentaries. So I just found it very interesting. So I bought them. Again, they're there for $3 usually. Elf, Final Destination Bloodlines, again from the Grub sale, and it's basically for now completes my Final Destination collection up until they make the 7th one. Finding Neverland. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of this cover because of the silver swoosh that has here. I kind of wish it was the whole poster. Funny People, Gaslight, again from the Grub sale, and yeah, Gaslight. This is where the term gaslighting somebody or just to gaslight comes from. It comes from this movie. The More You Know, or maybe I'm gaslighting you. G-Force. This is a surprisingly thick case. Look, compare this to Gaslight. I don't know why this is so thick, but I kind of like it. Grudge Match. This is a movie I've always heard about, but it didn't really hit me that this stars Stallone and De Niro. I don't know, I've just never thought about it. We have World War Z in Spanish, Guerra Mundial C. I'm almost positive that this may be a bootleg copy, honestly. I got this from the Apple one, the Big Apple thrift store. Hansel and Gretel. This is a movie I've been thinking about recently, on and off for the past couple months, so I'm really happy to finally get it now. Horrible Bosses, Hulk, Iphigenia. So yeah, this is, again, Radiance. I bought this during the Radiance sale. Jack the Giant Slayer. Jeff, who lives at home alone. Joseph, the King of the Dreams. King Arthur. And La La Land. So I actually picked this up with Cheap Thrills, the one that you saw in the previous stack. And funny enough, because me and my friends in February, for whatever reason, we were talking a lot about La La Land, and I don't have it in my collection up until now. It's one of those things, we were talking about it, and a week later, I saw it there for a good price, so I got it. Law Abiding Citizen. I thought I had this already on DVD, so I thought I was when I bought this, I was upgrading it, but I guess I wasn't. Either way, I'm not upset that's in the collection. I'll just say that much. Legally Blonde collection has both movies 1 and 2. Little Nicky, Los Golfos, again from the Radiance sale. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On was not on sale. Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins, y'all. Mimic. So, funny story with Mimic. This is when I was going around with the meal with my friend Yami, and I found Mimic, the Blu-ray, the original Blu-ray version of this, the director's cut version of it, and I bought it there for $3. And then I guess I forgot that I had literally just bought Mimic, so we went to Barnes & Noble's at the end, and I saw this for a decent price, I think for a discounted price, and I bought it, and it's, again, the 4K and Blu-ray 4K and Blu-ray, and then I realized, oh wait, I have both versions of it. So I'm gonna keep this version. My Cousin Vinny, The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, New Year's Eve, North America, OC, and Stips. I'm not gonna lie, this is like the one movie from the rating cell that I'm like, it's not that I haven't seen it yet, by the way. I bought it just because it was there, not because I wanted it, if that makes sense. Olympus Has Fallen, Oppenheimer, Out for Justice, Pan, Past Lives, Pet Cemetery, this is the original version of it, Pirates of the Caribbean, On Stranger Tides, and this is such an interesting thing, because it's like the 3D version of it. Planet Earth, this is the first 3 episodes, and apparently this is like a promotional thing that they did for like the producers or whatever, like for people who were investing in this series. So it's very odd that this is just there in the wild in general. So I picked it up because of that. Police Python 357, this is from the Radiant Cell, right? Yeah, Radiant Cell. Public Enemy, so yeah, this is a very beat up copy of it. So I got the Public Enemy DVD, I got it in that Temu box set that I had been mentioning earlier. And then I saw this at the Big Apple, and I bought it. So I basically upgraded. Like, I got the DVD, and like 2 days later, I upgraded it to Blu-ray. I mean, the one thing I kind of don't like about this, it's, of course, this is clearly a very beat-up case, but like, what can you do? We have Old School, Ride Along. Does anybody even remember this movie, low-key? Like, this is such a fun movie. And R.I.P.D. Not gonna lie, I like this movie. There, I said I like this movie. And this is also one of my upgrades. So like I said, I am trying to upgrade a lot of movies. So like, I'm upgrading this. I upgraded Pan. I upgraded Olympus Has Fallen. Just to kind of give you an idea of stuff that I've upgraded here. Is there anything else I've mentioned beforehand that I upgraded here? Let me see very fast here. Jeff, Who Lives at Home, Jack the Giant Slayer, those were upgrades. Hulk was an upgrade. So there you go. I am trying to upgrade my movies a bit more, just across the board. We have Rocket Man. I feel like this is a biopic, music biopic that in recent years has already been forgotten in the pantheon of like great music biopics, and even just recent biopics with like Bohemian Rhapsody, Elvis, Deliver Me From Nowhere, Unknown, what's the Bob Dylan one? Complete Unknown, and or even the Monkey one with Robbie Williams, Better Man, or even Michael that's coming out literally this week. I feel like this is one that's already been forgotten, and it's ironic because I think this may be the most creative one out of the bunch. The Rush Hour trilogy, this was basically an upgrade for me. Sanctum 3D, so I literally got this because of the lenticular cover. I'm not sure if I could release it here, but pretty cool. The only other lenticular cover that I know, or slipcover that I know that I have, is for Fear the Walking Dead Season 1. Santa Paws 2, so yeah, Santa Paws 2, here's my story with Santa Paws 2 and some of these other Blu-rays. Like I mentioned back with, I don't even remember which movie it was anymore, but long story short, I was at a Goodwill. I had my stack of movies, and for whatever reason, this Goodwill, this time around, just had a bunch of Blu-rays. So I practically jacked all the Blu-rays. I think the only ones I left behind was like Pitch Perfect 2 and Collateral, because I already have those on Blu-ray. And even then, like, it kind of hurt to leave those behind. But I had basically my stack of Blu-rays, and I was in line, and this lady was like looking at, I had put my stack on a shelf nearby, basically, like on the rack nearby, because I was getting kind of tired of just carrying these around, and the line was super long, and there was a lot of delays with the cashier and the cash register, which I don't want to get into right now. But this lady was like looking at the Blu-rays, and she was trying to take this movie and a few other movies I had in that stack. And I'm like, hey, excuse me, these are actually my movies. And she got very aggressive and was like, no, I want these movies, this and the other. It's one of those things that like the cashiers actually had to pay attention to our situation and like fix it. And at the end of the day, I got all my movies, including Santa Paws 2. Serre Noir, this is another Radiance thing, so that was on discount. 7, What's in the Box? Sex Tape, Shinobi. This is, I think, a trilogy of movies. Band of Assassins, Revenge, and Resurrection. Solomon Kane, Speed, Straight Outta Compton. Not gonna lie, I kind of regret already buying this because I actually had this saved on like eBay or Mercari or whatever. Or Depop or whatever. I had the regular Blu-ray of this saved already for like $5. I could always buy whenever I want. And instead I waited like $15-20 or something like that to buy this version of it. So it kind of is what it is. And yes, this does have the Blu-ray. That's what I did check afterwards. Teen Titans Go to the Movies. This is one of those movies that actually was with Santa Paws, now I think about it. Also, just to go back on Teen Titans very fast, like this is actually a really good movie if you haven't seen it already. Like I'm being genuine about it. The Best of Me, Boondock Saints, and Boondock Saints 2. The Campaign, this is an upgrade. Dark Knight Trilogy, of course I had to upgrade this as well. Again, another thing I got from the Criterion Cell, this is the complete Jocks Demi Collection, or the Essential Jocks Demi Collection. We have The Game Plan, The Hangover, The Heat, The Horse Whisperer, The Human Condition. So here's the funny thing. So I bought the BBC collection, the All in America BBC collection first. And then I kind of regretted afterwards, like, hey, I should have probably bought something else. So then I bought Jocks Demi, right? And when I bought Jocks Demi, because I've already spent so much money on Criterion, they gave me a $50 gift card essentially to use, and from there I got The Human Condition. I still have $10 I can use on Criterion, so I'll probably save that for the next sale. The Hunger Games movies, all on Blu-ray. These are the first 5 movies essentially. Now that Sunrise of the Reaping is gonna come out later this year. The Last Samurai, Tarzan, the Legend of Tarzan, The Little Mermaid, The Lost Boys, The Nameless, The Odd Life of Timothy Green, The Ogre of Athens, The Prince of Egypt, The Public Enemy. This is another thing from Grove, The Shawshank Redemption. So yeah, I have the Blu-ray and I got the DVD. Again, the DVD is the cardboard case, which I love a lot. The Ugly Truth, The Universe, The Water Diviner. Does anybody remember this movie? Like, Russell Crowe directed this movie. I think this was his second directorial debut, like, for a feature film. He's only directed like 3 movies. It's like this. There's a documentary. Like, I think the first thing he directed was a documentary called like Texas, based on like his football team or something like that. A year or 2 ago, he directed another movie. So he's only directed 3 times feature films. I think he's directed a few like music videos as well. But like, does anybody remember this movie? Like, I remember this movie being really good. I remember this having like some very early Oscar buzz at the beginning of the year, and like after that, I've just never heard anybody talk about this movie. I don't know. I saw it there. I'm like, yeah, I'm actually gonna take this movie. Toy Story and Toy Story of Terror. So again, these are 2 of the movies that were part of that Santa Paws fiasco. Unbroken. So here's a weird thing. I could have sworn I had Unbroken. I bought this thinking I was gonna upgrade it from DVD to Blu-ray, and I just cannot find Unbroken anywhere in my collection. Like, straight up, I don't know what happened to it. It's not like I've moved. It's not like I would have misplaced it. I went through my collection like Like I have no idea where that movie went. No idea. The Untraceable, Vantage Point. This is another one I got from the Big Apple. And just like 300, for whatever reason, they had like 20 copies of Vantage Point. So I'm like, screw it, I might as well buy it. You know, and upgrade it, because I really do have Vantage Point as a DVD, so I might as well upgrade it from DVD to Blu-ray. Waiting for Superman, Wanderlust. This is another one that was part of the Santa Paws fiasco. We Own the Night. White Heat. This is from the Grove sale. White House Down, which is, again, Die Hard in the White House, just like Olympus Has Fallen. I feel like nobody talks about this movie anymore because of Olympus Has Fallen. I mean, it's still a pretty fun action film, so definitely go check it out. So this is the Wicked Games box set. This has The Wicked Go to Hell, Nude in a White Car, and The Taste of Violence. And this is the same director, or sorry, the director of this movie. I know he was an actor in Rafifi. I believe it's Rafifi or Le Cirque Rouge, which is like a heist film that's on Criterion. And yeah, Robert Hudson. That's the director slash actor. I was actually trying to get this earlier in the year, like back in January, before the sale, before I even knew there was a sale, because I found this with like I'm pretty sure this is like a post-Christmas type of situation where they had a 50% sticker on it, and for whatever reason they didn't want to give it to me because it wasn't correct. I'm like, okay, cool, but can you still honor the sticker? And they did not want to honor it. The sale rolled around and I finally got it at an appropriate price. Woodstock, I got this again from Grove, and this is basically a concert film of Woodstock. Yohamaji BJ Blues. Something I want to point out, because I think this is the only example that I have here, at least from what I can tell. You know, this case, it's a white case, just like a Blu-ray case here, but in whites, right? Transparent whites, right? Here's the thing. This is a Radiance. This comes from Radiance. Look at all the other Radiance stuff I have. Like, all the other Radiance stuff I have all come in this design. It doesn't come with, like, this white bar here on the top. It comes with, like, this nice flap, you know, this nice thing in the middle with, like, the poster or whatever. Like, I'm, like, just like, why? Why is it different? And I'm like, I guess because it's limited edition. I'm sorry, I also just don't believe Radiance when they say their stuff is like limited edition, because like it's 2,500 here. It's like, are you seriously telling me that between all the Barnes and Nobles in the United States, plus Amazon, plus your own personal website, you're only gonna limit this to like 2,500? No, I'm telling bull. If it was 25,000, sure, but 2,500? No, I'm sorry. That seems like a lie. That seems so far fetched. That's just a lie. That's neither here nor there. This kind of does bug me. There were other Radiance stuff I have that comes like this, except for this. I think the 3 French films also come like this, nothing about it. So yeah, they're all by Alain Couture. Is that the name of the guys? Yeah, I think all those films also come in this style. Nothing about it. Young Frankenstein, this was an upgrade. Youth and Revolt. And this was also part of that Santa Paws fiasco. And I literally got this because I've never heard of it. And I think that's it for the Blu-rays. And I still have one more thing that I need to show off. Alright, so you've seen DVDs and you've seen Blu-rays. So what else is left? VHSs. Yes, as of this haul, I am finally gonna start getting into VHS tapes. Unlike 4Ks, where if I have a 4K player, I kind of wish I could watch it. Like, I do wish I could watch VHSs, don't get me wrong, but like, I like the idea of just owning VHSs a bit more than owning a 4K disc, if that makes sense. And I think part of the reason has to do with the fact that with a VHS tapes, it just seems way more nostalgic. So the first couple of VHS tapes you're gonna see here, I got them from my dad's collection. That's the last thing I wanted to raid from his collection. I wanted to raid his VHSs and take a bunch of his VHSs. So here's the bulk of the VHSs here I got from my dad, essentially, is what it comes down to. I will say it does kind of annoy me that there's like 3 different formats for VHSs, and I don't mean like, oh, VHS and then there's a Betamax. I don't mean like that. I don't have any Betamaxes in my collection. That's not what I'm saying. But like, You'll see what I mean. First off, we have Alice in Wonderland. And I'm sorry, I just hate this type of case. I don't despise it, I'll say that much. But out of the 3 cases that I have here, 3 different types of cases, like, this is just the most unnecessarily bulky out of the bunch, in my opinion. And it's like, the VHS tape itself isn't bigger. Like, you can literally just slide a box on top of it, and that's all you really need to do. That's how, for me, that's my favorite style of VHS tapes. But yeah, here we have Alice in Wonderland. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever seen this movie, even when we had a VHS player. Here we have Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, so, you know, right in time for the new TV series that's coming up. But here's the funny thing, and I think I have this with another movie later down the line, but this is actually the Spanish dub of the movie. Straight up. This got me thinking, like, oh yeah, with the VHS, it's not like a DVD or a Blu-ray where, like, you could go in settings and just change it from English to Spanish, to French, to Japanese, Chinese, whatever. For, like, these types of movies on VHS, you needed to have it dubbed already, because this is a tape. You needed to sell it as dubbed, so if you wanted a Spanish version of Harry Potter, you needed to specifically seek out a Spanish version of Harry Potter. If you wanted a French version of Harry Potter, you need to specifically seek out a French version of Harry Potter. So it's pretty cool, in my opinion. So there you go, we have Harry Potter here. Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. This is, of course, the first movie, or the only movie, I think. I don't think they made any movies past that. Here we have Peter Pan. Another reason I just don't like these types of cases, these clamshell cases, because they're so easy to damage. Like, somehow the regular cardboard, like, yes, you can still damage the regular cardboard, but, like, there's, like, a certain grit to it that, like, you just don't get with, like, these clamshells. Like, I don't know, like when a cardboard for a VHS, like a slipcover for a VHS gets damaged, there's a little bit more grit to it. Whereas this, like, it's just sloppy. Like, it really just is sloppy. And, like, the whites get yellow. Like, at least this one has the luxury of being yellow already. Whereas it's like, when it gets yellow, it'll be yellow. Yeah, I'm honestly just not the biggest fan of this kind of case. That's what it comes down to. Robin Hood, Saludos Amigos. I don't even know if this is actually on Blu-ray, now I think about it. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Shrek, and this is another one that's dubbed in the English language. Or, Spanish language. There's another one that's a Spanish dub. So pretty cool right there. The Fox and the Hound. And Toy Story 2. Okay, the next set of cases I have are these, like, thin clamshell ones. So these are, like, the bulky clamshell ones. And now I have these things. I only have a handful of these. First off, here we have Belle de Jour. And yes, like, you can see just the difference in clamshell, I guess. Like, this it's so bulky, in my opinion, like, unnecessarily bulky. And yeah, like, this opens up just like that. Like that, you have the case right there, but, like, I feel like if you're gonna do clam, I still prefer the slipcover boxes, I'll say that much. I prefer that, but if they're gonna do a shell like this, or a clam shell like this, at least have it be this. At least it's more minimal, at least it's smaller, you know, versus the bulk and a half that's this, you know. Like, I'm sorry, it is what it is. I think Warner Bros. Is the one who popularized this style of packaging. Next up, we have Burden of Dreams. Just a very random thing to find there in as a VHS. I have the Criterion version of this, so, you know, it's not like I need to have this to watch it per se, but still, just kind of interesting. And then the last thing here, which is probably the most out of left field thing I have here, especially with the VHSs, and that is this concert film of Orquestra de Luz. They are a Japanese salsa band, essentially is what it comes down to. And, like, I'm somebody who loves to dance. I'm somebody who knows how to dance salsa. So that's part of the reason I got it. But also, I was talking to a friend, and he just loves Japan. He loves the Japanese culture, whatever. So I saw this, and I immediately thought of him because this is Japanese culture. This is Japanese media. So I took a picture of it and sent it to him, and he, like, absolutely went feral for this. Yeah, and, like, this is super hard to find on top of that. So, like, I kind of lucked out finding this for, like, $2 at American Thrift. You don't see this online, like, at all. Like, it's basically non-existent. There's only one selling, or one listing, sorry, on eBay for like $50, and I'm not even sure if it's sold or not. I don't know, maybe a Holy Grail item? I don't know, just very random. And I got it for like $1 or $2. So those are the 3 I have from this. Now, onto my favorite version, which is basically the standard cardboard slipcover case. Give me a second to grab them all. Alright, so again, last but not least, we have the VHSs, which are just a slipcover VHSs. And again, some of these I got from my dad. I just basically jacked them from his collection. And some of these I bought. Starting off, this is one I took from my dad's collection, and that is Air Force One. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, just a simple slipcover. It's all you really need. Like, I don't really need this clamshell crap, honestly. And if you're gonna do the clamshell one, at least do it like Burden of Dreams, Belle de Jour, like that style of it. Not the whole bulky thing. Just why? I think that's my main annoyance with it. It's just too bulky. Like this is perfect. Like a piece of cardboard is all you need. And it's like, it's super nostalgic in my opinion. Next up we have An American in Paris. Not gonna lie, this is one that I'm like, why did I pick this up? I guess I picked it up because it was there for like $1, but like, You know, like I've also searched up other VHSs of this movie, and like the cover they have for it is just like so much more iconic or just a lot more lively. Like I don't know, like this image here just seems very flat. I think that's the thing that bothers me the most. It almost reads as like a black and white movie, which American in Paris was not a black and white movie, by the way, but it almost reads like a black and white movie, and they just colorized it, and this is how the final outcome came out. We have Bandits, Black and White, and Bound. Both of these are Gina Gershon movies, so just kind of interesting to have those there. Braveheart, this I got from my dad's collection. Dr. Zhivago, and yeah, I have a complicated relationship with Dr. Zhivago. And it's funny because I've actually never seen this movie, but it's one of those things where every single time I want to buy this movie, whether it be on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, something always happens where I just am not able to buy it, and I finally got this as a VHS. And I can't even watch it still, so go figure. Driving Miss Daisy, again, similar to American in Paris, I'm like, yeah, I think I just picked this up because it was there. E.T. So I got this one from Big Apple. I think this is the first one I've shown that I got from Big Apple, now I think about it. Gigi, this is from American Thrift. Godzilla 98, 99. Independence Day. Is Paris Burning? Just seemed like a very interesting film, especially because it's 2 VHSs, so it's part 1 and part 2. So just very interesting when you have something like that. Jurassic Park and The Lost Empire, right? Is that what it is? The Lost World. Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park, The Lost World. So pretty cool to have them there. I wish I had the 3rd movie in this series to complete this little collection, maybe in the future. Out for Justice. So yes, I bought this on Blu-ray and I bought it on VHS. Star Wars. So I got this from my dad's collection. And honestly, this is the VHS that basically at the end pushed me over the edge to start collecting VHSs, because I've always liked this cover. I've always seen it in the house, you know, going through my dad's collection. It was like, wow, you know, like it's so dumb in a sense, and it's so like saddening in a sense that VHSs are no longer relevant. But in the past couple of years, VHSs have become relevant. So, you know, who knows? Maybe one day I'll put a VHS player in my thing along with a 4K player and just kind of go from there. I can watch some of these movies, even though we have some of these, like this one, and even this one on Blu-ray. The same thing with Jurassic Park, I have that on Blu-ray already, but hey, a guy can dream. And speaking of Star Wars, probably the holy grail, or one of the holy grails when it comes to just VHSs in general. And even though I'm pretty sure this is still relatively affordable, all things considered, but that is the Star Wars trilogy on VHS. So it has Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Just like such a cool box set, like such an incredibly cool box set to have. So yeah, just because I have this does not mean I'm going to give up on this, especially because this is the one that's from my house originally anyways. In a lot of senses, it's my first VHS, so I'm never going to give this one away. The King and I really like the artwork for it, so that's why I got it. The Net, so this is from my dad's collection. I kind of just jacked it, so yeah, I picked up the Net both on Blu-ray and VHS. Pretty sure I got it on Blu-ray, or was it DVD? I don't even remember anymore. And last but not least is Titanic. So yeah, Titanic is like my favorite movie of all time. I'm not even going to deny it. And I think there's like a running joke with this VHS specifically of Titanic, where like there's a guy on Instagram who's trying to collect every single version of Titanic or every single VHS of Titanic or something like that. I remember I've seen that a few times. So I don't know. I guess I'm happy I managed to save one for myself before he took it. So yeah, that is the entire haul. And I basically cut down an approximately 4-hour video, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours, depending on how I would have edited that video. I basically managed to condense all that to, at this point, I've been filming for about 1 hour and 19 minutes and counting. So who knows to what point I've edited this video. So yeah, that's basically it from the haul. One of the most insane hauls I've ever had. To be a bit self-reflective, I need to have self-control. I'll fully admit that. I do need to have some self-control in general. Especially given some recent life events. If you guys are following the channel right now, if you know, you know. And even with those life events, hopefully I'm going to rectify that soon either way. I kind of realized this. Now, this first part, I've talked about it in the channel a bunch of times, and it should be made very evident in general throughout all of my haul videos. But that is, I do tend to have a bit of an addictive behavior, which is unhealthy to a certain degree. All this to say is that I am finally at a point where I do think I need to declutter. And I am going to be making a video further expanding on this point in terms of how I'm going to declutter and what I'm going to do to declutter. But that's what it comes down to. I think I am finally at a point where I have to declutter some of this stuff. I don't want to go into too much detail right now as to how I'm going to declutter or what I'm going to declutter. I think, again, that's going to be for its own separate video. But I am starting to have ideas as to how I could do this. Because I do need the space in my room. Regardless, I do need space in my room. And at this point, it's not like right now, unless I have a change. I mean, I guess I could buy a new shelf, but it's also one of those things like, where would I put the shelf? If you see the layout of my room, like it will be somewhere in there, in that corner. Right past the drawers right there. It's one of those things that even with that, there's no space because there's a trunk there. So that stuff I'm going to have to decide on my own. And I'm already trying to figure out the logistics of it. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I am expect maybe in the next week or so of when I post this video to show you guys a full decluttering video. Or at least of how I'm going to start to declutter. And just more talks about that. And yeah, that's basically it for now. I'm so happy that I managed to trim down a 4-hour video to about maybe an hour. And yeah, Yamil, because I'm not going to watch this, I told you, I'd rather just film all of this in one go than edit 8 different parts and have it be like over 4 hours. So there you go. That's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart, signing off.